Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be telling you that how to make a real-time voting polling app inside Node.js using socket.io. So with the help of this application you will be able to create a live polling app. Let's suppose you want to create a live voting app on various issues, so you can create it. Let me just show you a short little demo of this application. Let me start this application. So now you will see that the application has been started on localhost port 80. So if I just open this application, which is localhost, and now basically you will see that, guys, this is the live polling app. Here you can vote for your favorite programming language. So you can just see here, this is the live polling app. If I vote for this, if I just vote for this programming language, you will see that one vote has been registered. You will see 3 votes has been registered. If I vote for this programming language, PHP, Python, Go, like this. So this is a live polling app, guys. So the nice thing about this application is that in various, let's suppose I open this inside the various browser instances. So if I open it here, if I open it inside another browser instance like here, and one more time, so if I open it multiple times and try to vote, so it will give you this live effect here. So this is one window, this is a second window, and this is a third window. So when you vote here, in each of the 3 windows, the voting pattern will appear. So you will see this is 3 windows out there. So if I vote here, so now you will see that live pattern has been registered. If I vote for this, so basically it's a live polling app. So wherever you vote here in various windows or various instances of it, so multiple people can participate in the live polling. And so this chart live updating has been done using Chart.js. So it's a chart library for JavaScript. So multiple people can vote at the same time, and you can just see here live effect has been registered. So we can vote it. So this is just live voting app wherever you see inside the internet. So it will be updating in real time. So whenever you make any sort of vote here, this bar chart will change here, and in the background it is using the chart.js library. And also we are hosting this application inside the Node.js server. So first of all it is communicating to the server side, and the server side then it is updating the changes. And now you can just see here the chart is real time updating here, and these colorful charts you can make instantly using chart.js library in no time. So all the source code regarding this application I have given inside the video description. So you can just go to it and download all the source code. And let's start building this application from scratch. So first of all, you need to install chart.js. So if you just type chart.js on Google, this is the open source HTML5 library for building charts inside the browser. So here we will be just be including the CDN for this. So you can just type here chart.js CDN, and you will be able to get it CDN from its official website. So this is a CDN, and now you just need to make a new folder here inside your projects folder. So just let me just close this application and start from scratch. So right here you need to make a new directory, which is voting app project. You need to go into this directory. Just open this inside your text editor, which is, you can use any text editor of your choice. I'm using Visual Studio Code text editor. So right here inside this, you need to initialize npm init-y. So this will create the package.json file. And then you need to install express and socket.io. So just install these two dependencies. So now it has installed these two dependencies. You will see that. So we can now make our express server, which is very simple. So right here, what we need to do is that first of all, we need to require express. We need to require it, and we need to make a new application, express, and you can choose the port number, any port number. I will choose 3000. And then we need to host the static resources, so where we will be having our index.html. So you can just make a public folder right here inside the root directory, where you will be hosting all the static content. So inside public, we will make our index.html file. So here we will be displaying all the charts which will be displayed. So right here, after this, guys, what we need to do is that we need to start the server app.listen inside the port number, and inside the callback function, we just need to say here console log app is listing on port 3000. So after that, guys, we need to initialize all the voting candidates, so for which we will be voting it inside our application. So here you can just make a object of candidates. So this object will be containing all the labels. So indexing start from 0, so we will have the 0 index. So this will, initial votes will be 0, and the label here you can provide any label of your choice, but I will be providing JavaScript here. So we will be making the voting for the favorite programming language. So then you need to provide the color. So this can be random RGB. So this function we need to create. So every time it will generate a random red, green, blue color. So put a comma, and then we will have the second candidate. Initial votes will be 0, and the label will be here will be C hash. You can give any programming language. Color here will be again random RGB. Put a comma. So votes 0. Label here once again will be PHP. Color once again random RGB. And here once again the votes will be 0. Label here will be Python. Color random RGB. And the last candidate, this will be, you can give any programming language of your choice. It don't has to be like this. You can customize your own candidates and create the quiz. So now we have having our candidates, guys. So just create this function, guys, so which will be creating random color for us, random RGB. So in this function we are just calculating the random colors. So here we will be just be using the math class math.random, and we will be multiplying it with the value 256 and greater than 0, and this function will return the RGB value. That's it, RGB. Inside this function we will have the dynamic value R, and then we will put the comma for G, and lastly for B. That's it. This is all that you need to do in the inside this function, guys. So this will generate the random color for each candidate inside our polling app, voting app. So after this, guys, you just need to include the CDN for chart.js. I have shown you how to do this. Up till now, if you have any sort of question, you can ask in the comment section. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So we are building a real-time polling uh, voting application inside socket.io and HTML5 and JavaScript in Node.js. So you can download all the source code. I have given the source code in the video description. This is my blog post. Here you can find out all the source code. So you can need to include the CDN for chart.js and socket.io. So simply you need to, after the title, simply paste the CDN for both of these technologies. So change the title to real-time voting polling app. So here we also need to close this. So close the script tag. So right here, guys, we need to show the bar chart. So this is very simple. Inside the body, first of all, we will have a simple H1 heading inside the center position. So text align here will be simply be inside the center position, and here we will be saying that what is your favorite programming language. So this will be simple polling app. So this can be anything. This don't have to be like this. You can create your own customized title. And then we will have the canvas tag. Here we will be displaying the all the bar chart. So just give it a minimum height of 50 viewport height, and also we need to give it a width of you can give any width of your choice. We will give at 100 view width, and close the canvas tag. So we have given this ID because we will target the canvas tag inside the JavaScript. So whenever after that we will have a bunch of buttons. So with the help of these buttons you can vote for your favorite programming language. The first button will be for JavaScript, the second button will be for C hash, the third button will be for PHP, and the fourth button will be for Python, and the last button will be for Go. So we just need to bind the on click on these. So whenever you click these buttons, actually the voting happens. So here we need to pass the index number, which is 0, because this is the first PHP programming language. So we are passing 0. So similarly, when we click the second one, the index will pass here 1. When you click the third one in the voting, this will be passing as 2. And when you click the fourth one, the index will be 3. And when you click the fifth one, the index will be 4. That's it. So now, guys, if you just run this application, you will see something in the internet, oh sorry, in the browser. So if you see here, if I go to my application localhost 3000, so now you will see there are bunch of buttons out there. If you click this, the voting happens. but there is nothing here because we need to create the bar chart. So in order to create the bar chart, it is pretty simple using Chart.js. So now we need to just write the JavaScript inside the script section. So first of all, we will draw the bar chart. We will target it by the document.element ID. We have given this ID to the canvas element, which is vote chart. So vote chart, we have given this ID, vote chart. So now we need to draw the bar chart. So first of all, we need to get the context. So get context is the variable. 2D context, we will draw it like this. So whenever we need to draw something in the canvas, we need to first of all get the context. After that, we can declare the chart. We can draw a new bar chart, pass the context, and then the second argument will be the object. So this will be a simple bar chart. So we will say bar, and then the data here, whichever data you need to provide, and the labels will be simply here. You can give the label anything. I will give programming languages because we are voting for our favorite programming language. And then the third argument will be for the options. So these are not mandatory. You can give the options, but it is up to you. So I will not give the options. So now we need to connect this application, guys, to the socket.io. So we will declare socket variable and input output, and here we will give the address localhost 3000 because our application is running on localhost 3000. So here you need to put the port number, which is 3000. And after that, guys, what we need to do is that if you just open this application for now, you will see your bar chart. If you see, this is our bar chart, guys. You will see that this is the label programming languages. If I vote here, nothing happens because we haven't written the code here. We need to communicate to the server side. So whenever we hit any of these buttons, we need to communicate to the server side that we want to vote for our programming language when we hit this button. So for this to happen, we need to send a event which will be socket dot on. So first of all, we need to write this code at the server side. So whenever we get a update, whenever someone votes, so basically inside our server side code, guys, so we need to make slide update here. So whenever a new client is connected, so we will say input output dot. For this, guys, we need to first of all connect with our socket.io. So we need to make a socket.io server inside Express. So we can do this simply by using const io. We need to require the socket.io library, socket.io, and then we need to pass the server, which is the Express server, which is listening on port 3000. So we are passing the Express server instance here. You will see that. After that, guys, what we need to do is that we need to listen for the connection event, input output dot on connection. So whenever a new client is connected, this event will fire automatically, and then it will have the socket property. It will have all the information about that user inside this variable. So we can just console log that a new client has been connected. So you will see that now if I refresh the browser, if I refresh it, inside the command line, you will see a new client has been connected. So if I want to print out information about that client, we can console log socket. So this will contain some more information about that client. If I refresh it, you will see that this is all the information about that client, the browser information, all that stuff, IP address, all that stuff. So we don't need this information. Instead, we just need to vote. So first of all, we need to emit the voting information to all the candidates, to all users connected. So we will say input output dot emit, and this the event name will be update. So we will be passing to all the candidates. So you will see that we have declared the object candidate, so it is having all the participants here inside the voting. So we are just passing the update here to the client side using emit. After that, guys, whenever someone votes for the candidate, this event will be fired, which is socket.on vote. So we will have the index number for which index the voting has happened. We will check. So inside this if condition, we will check if candidates. We will compare the index number and we will increase the vote for that particular index number. Dot votes, increment it by 1 like this. That's all that we need to do. Someone votes, this event will automatically fire and we will increase the vote. And after that, guys, whenever we update the process, we also need to let all the users know. Let users know if someone has voted. Again, we will call the emit function. We will update the users with the required candidates. That's it. That's all, guys. We need to write inside this server-side code. So now inside the client side, we just need to uh, listen for this function. So we need to vote for the candidate. So this information will be sent from the server side. So we will say socket.on update. So we will have the candidate object passed to us. So we can console log it like this. So basically, guys, what will happen, guys? So whenever we vote for any of the programming languages inside our browser, a object will be returned to us. So if I click this button, you will see that it is saying that vote is not defined. So here we need to first of all write this vote function. If you haven't, we haven't written this vote function because we are calling this vote function. So we need to write this vote function. So in order to vote, so vote for the candidate. This function will be pretty simple. Function vote. We will pass the index number for which we need to vote, and simply we will communicate this information to the server side by using socket.emit, and we will, this is the event name which is vote, and we will pass the index for which we need to vote. That's it. So now at the server side, we need to listen for this event which is coming here to us. So someone, when you vote for the certain candidate at the server side, we are listening for this event which has happened, which is socket.on vote. We are capturing the index number and then we are increasing it, the vote for that particular candidate, and then we are again emitting that information. So now this is a concept. It is a bi-directional communication between the client and the server for this real-time polling app. So if you now if refresh it, so now, guys, what will happen if I vote it? So now you will see a object is returned to us inside the browser. So votes, you will see, is increased here to 1. If I once again vote it, a next object will be returned to us. Now the vote value is 2. If I vote for PHP, the third object will be returned to us. So PHP has got a vote of 1. I think you cannot see here because my face is coming here. Let me remove the face here. So now if I vote for JavaScript, you will see a object is returned to us. Votes has the value of 3. If I vote for JavaScript once again, the votes value increase to 4. So this is bi-directional communication, guys. So we are communicating to the server side and the server side is returning the information back to the client side. So, so this information we need to translate into the chart.js library. We need to make that real-time effect. We need to parse this information. And in order to do this, it is very simple. So now what we need to do is that we need to parse this information. At the client side, what we need to do, whenever we get this candidates, we need to first of all convert this object to a array. So for converting this candidates to a array, we will use object.entries and pass this object. So this will now be a array. So now we can use the for loop, const key for each key inside this candidate of candidates. So this is a for loop we are running here. This is a syntax here how to do this. And this if condition is very much crucial, guys. So here we are checking type of chart.data dot data sets. So this is somewhat complicated code, so I need to write this. So you can just go to my video description link and just copy this. So this is the for loop. Let me just write this and explain to you what is happening here. So right here inside this for loop, guys, what we are doing is that we are just checking it if the user has already existed, and we are updating the vote. So we are pushing it inside the chart array with the background color, border color, actual data of votes, and the label. In the else scenario, if the user is not undefined, then we are updating the votes. And lastly, what we need to do is that we need to update the chart, use the update method. That's it. So this will actually update the chart in real time using this update method. So this is built in inside chart.js library. That's it. This is all that you need to do for this application. Now, if I run this application inside the browser, you will see that it will now be real time. So now you will see automatically. Let me just run this for the stop it and rerun this. Node mon index.js. If I vote it, you will see now JavaScript has one vote, C hash also has one vote, Python has also one vote. If I open this inside another window, so automatically this will capture all the information which has happened. If I make a modification in this window, the effect will be perpetuated to all the windows. So now you can see it's a real-time polling application. So we can make any vote and this will be reflected on all the windows. So you can make this application more secure that you only allow the user to vote only once, not multiple times. So this is also can be done by detecting the IP address of the user by allowing the user only once to vote. You will see. Let me just so side by side, if you do this now, you will see in each of the window it has a real-time effect. This is the real-time polling application. You will see that. So you have seen this effect in various of the popular websites where real-time voting happens. So this is a concept it uses in the background. So it's a bi-directional communication between the client and the server. It is using socket.io. And we have used the Chart.js library to make the real-time charts using Chart.js. So now, if you want to allow the user to only vote once, not vote multiple times, so this can be a cheating because you need to prevent the cheating. So you can prevent the cheating by using a package which is available inside the Node.js, which is called as user agent. Basically, it will detect the browser and it will also detect the IP address of the user. So thereby it will only allow the user to vote only once. So you can install this package simply by going to the command line npm i user agent. So just install this package. So now once the package has been installed, you can make a slight modification. The modification code is there inside my video description. If you just see here, in order to make this voting app secure, this is all the code that you need to write. Simply copy this and customize the index.js. Simply paste this code. You don't need to customize the index.html. This code remains the same. So now if you just launch this application once again, so if you, sorry, let me see here. The port number we need to change 3000. So now it is listening on 3000 port number. So here we need to provide the IP address, guys. So if you see here, so whenever you go to your machine, there is this unique IP address available to you. So you need to go to open network and internet settings. So whenever you have a Wi-Fi adapter, go to properties and you will have your IP address. So simply you need to copy this IP address and whenever go to index.html and simply you need to paste it right here instead of localhost. So paste this information. So now if you open this address, this is will be your IP address for the real-time application. If you open this, if you have any sort of doubt, guys, you can ask in the comment section. I will happily solve the doubt for you. If you want to download all the source code, you can go to the video description link to download all the source code. I think you need to change the IP address for this, but let me see. For this, you need to deploy this application to a Heroku or a DigitalOcean for this to work. I think it will not work localhost. So if you want to deploy it to a Heroku or DigitalOcean, then that in that scenario it will work. So thanks very much, guys, for watching this video. If you like this video, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well, and I will be seeing you in the next video. Until then, thank you very much.